Hi, I'm a peacock. Bark, 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 bark. That's not the sound peacocks make.
It isn't.
Try again. That's closer. Peacocks sound like crying babies. I know that because they're around here in this area. They actually wander around in the wild, so we see them once in a while. Anyway, this is not a peacock. Well, it's a peacock, but this is a brass thingy that we bought at the bins, and we're going to make a lot of money on it. And you're going to find out if you just stay past this little thingy that says the haul. So here it is. Incense burner, peacock, brass. We love brass. I love brass.
He loves brass.
I love brass. He
I
don't care that much
care.
about brass. Anyway, we polished this up a little bit, to be fair. My wife polished this up a little bit. It looks nicer than it did when we got it. And we comped this thing, and amazingly, this little incense burner comps at $28, $29, and there are only like 2 of them listed, or there's 1 listed and 1 sold. So we're going to list this at $28 and hopefully make some good money on this little piece of brass. Brass is weird. Some of it's great, some of it's not. This looks like it might be a great one. Hope so. Next.
Bowl.
Bowls. All right. Again, we're at the bins, right? Everybody loves the bins. That's not true. I know people that actually don't like the bins. Crazy people. Actually, probably the same people, because the bins are not for the faint of heart. You know what? We'll talk about that right now. Well, we can talk about it in this context. These bowls, I got these out of the bins after they rolled the bins out, and I was in the little crowd that came up to this one bin that was full of glass and ceramic and pottery and this kind of stuff. Well, I had a little gray tote. I thought all to myself, and I'm going through it gently, and this dude comes up and just starts reaching in my tote right over my shoulder. I've learned since then that there's always room for 2 people in the gray totes. Nobody is going to be polite enough to stand back if there's something they want. So anyway, my solution to that was to just reach down in the tote, just go and grabbed everything I could grab and picked it up and took it over to my cart and then went through it. Fortunately, I didn't cut any fingers off because sometimes there's broken glass in there. You got to be careful of that. But anyhow, so I got these bowls as part of that little scoop, and there were some other ceramics in there that were pretty nice things too, but every one of them had a crack on them, so we didn't go that route. But I got these, and by the way, speaking of that little beginning there, scooping it and all the people crowded around, I want to show you a little video, real brief, that just shows you what happens, because I was finally able to get some video of it, and you can see how crazy the bins can get. So watch this. See? Nuts. And that's just like every 20 minutes, 30 minutes when they roll new carts out. That's what happens. We try to go when it's not quite that crowded, because that's a little too much for us. I don't like the kind of hustle bustle and elbowing people, which really doesn't happen. People are relatively polite. So anyway, we got those bowls. Pie dishes, actually. These are Longaberger pottery, which is really good. And they comp for, if I remember right, somewhere around $15 each. $20 each.
25 together.
And we're going to sell them for $25 for the set. So that's a pretty good win. Again, at the bins. They're a little heavy, but they're still going to make our money back for sure. I'm kind of excited about that. They're really nice.
As the bins go.
As the bins go, we can't help ourselves most times, and we always buy stuff for ourselves. For instance, ta-da!
Sure.
New shirt at the bins. Yay!
Yay.
Actually, got this today, and thought I'd wear it for the video, so there we go. It says something about me being really awesome. Welcome to my galaxy, or something like that. All right, so what we got, Alex?
I cannot see.
I don't know what it is about me and glasses that have magnifying glass in them, or magnifying glasses for that matter. I just like seeing stuff bigger. Found those, they got little lights, they're really cool, so I bought them for me to keep in the garage with my other magnifying glasses that I seem to be collecting. Anyway, we got those, and I keep playing with this, so I guess I'll show you. We got this Minecraft chicken.
Yep.
It's not chicken?
Oh, it is.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
It's
don't worry, he stands up just fine.
Yeah, he's a little tippy. It's a cow. Cow tipping is what Alex was actually just doing. So we got this for Alex to play with and put with those zillions of other collection. I think, how many you got? You have the cow.
Over 200.
I mean, no, those of the Minecrafts. You got a cow. You have
I own a cow.
a pig.
Minecraft Alex. I own the pig. I own Minecraft Steve. Creeper. I own too many creepers.
Yes.
I
so
just got,
anyway,
like, creeper
now he has a
slippers.
cow. So that's good. And we got this little metal bottle opener, which it turns out it had a little brassness on the front here, but it's not worth anything. But it's a little keychain bottle opener. Probably came from a souvenir shop or something. So anyway, we got that. Maybe we'll open a bottle someday. And this thing, we didn't know whether to sell it or keep it because his mom really likes these things, these little tiny trinket boxes. And this one's brass, and I really like brass, so it kind of goes together. It opens up really nice. And again, she cleaned it up really good to make it shiny and new. And we're going to keep that. That's going to go on a shelf in our living room. So there we go. A nice little trinket box for us.
Oh no! There's a fire over there.
Oh no. Oh no. And it makes sounds. Do you remember when you bought your kids when they were younger, toys that did that, and you would have to take the batteries out? I think I'm there now. Okay. Wait. Stop. You gotta stop. Oh my gosh. Make it stop. I'm sorry you had to go through that. We won't do this again. We won't do it again. Anyway, bought this for me to take to work. I work in an industry that is very much related to fire trucks, so I am going to put that on my shelf at work and just have a little fire truck up there. And if Alex ever comes to my workplace and pushes that button, I'm going to fire him right on the spot.
I don't work there, so.
There you go.
Well, I don't work there, so
Don't do it. I knew he was going to. All right, that's enough.
Okay, fine.
Once is enough. If this wasn't so heavy, I'd hit you with it.
You should hit me with it.
All right, so what is it? I would never hit him with a heavy stick. This,
Oh, we've been calling it silk this entire time, but it's slick.
no, I call it slick.
No, we've been calling it silk this
We'll
entire
do it this
time.
way. This is a monopod. It's just what a monopod is, right? It just expands
Yeah.
and you can use it to put your camera on, and if you're a fancy on-the-spot reporter or YouTuber or something out there, you can use that to kind of get stability. And it does have a neat feature. I remember to do it right. It's got this little thing here where you can like click that in, or no, that's a lock. That's unlock. You just push it down to where you want it and lock it, so you can do those fine adjustments once you got the macros out. So anyhow, we got this. This thing is going to sell for not as much as I had hoped. It's like $19, I think. 18 or 19 bucks we're going to get for this thing. And it'll go in a little tube or something and sell, so I think it'll ship pretty easy. So that's not so bad. That's actually good. What do I mean it's not bad? See that? You see that?
See what?
That is pure evidence that he doesn't like monopods, because they bored him so much he had to yawn. You gonna do that again? That's gonna make me yawn. Next. What are we gonna do with him? Put that in the comments somewhere. What are we gonna do with him? All right. Anyway, we also got this. I was pretty happy to find this because people were passing it up. In fact, they were opening it up and scattering parts of it all over the bin, but I was able to gather all of it back up. This is just some outdoor lights. I can't remember. There's something fancy about them. Oh, they're motion sensors.
Camera up. You're holding it upside down.
Or they might be. Oh, I am holding it upside. Pieces going everywhere.
There.
Anyway, it's got a little sensor there for light. I think it's a light sensor, so they come on and off automatically. And these things sell brand new online for $57. This obviously is not brand new because it's out of the package, but it is open box. Everything in there is in great shape. Never been installed on a house. Perfectly good. In fact, I took that out of the bag just so I could show it on this video. I'll put it back in the bag it came in. And we are going to sell this for, what did we say, $35?
I think so.
35 bucks. Somebody's going to get a really good deal on it. Is that where we ended up?
Yeah, 35 bucks.
35 bucks. Okay, so that's going to get listed for 35 bucks. I'll bet it sells pretty quick because these are really nice, and it's a really good deal. So happy to have found those, and don't know why nobody picked them up. when I'm out there, when we're sourcing, we are always looking for the weird stuff. The stuff, not weird, but the stuff that everybody else just skips on by. We can look for video games all day long. We can look for there's so many things that everybody's looking for all the time. Video games are probably the number one. What else? What's something else? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I want swung bases. I want swung bases real bad. Yeah, try to find one of those out there in the wild. Good luck with that. But in the morning, the good stuff goes away right away as soon as the resellers get there. So what I like to do is find the stuff that they're not focused on. In other words, I like to be a little nichey. Anyway, next. Spoons. Again, more spoons. We got more spoons. This is something I never delved into, was silverware, because I thought it was like complicated and difficult. And I guess it is if you really dig into it. But the simple fact of the matter is, if you think it's silver and it's inexpensive, like at the bins, these things weigh nothing. So this couldn't have cost more than a dime for us to buy. This little tiny spoon is silver. And it is, it's comps at $15 for this little tiny spoon. We got two of them. I don't know what he's doing with his. Always stabbing me with a spoon.
Nope, I'm not doing anything. I'm not
Give me
doing
a spoon
what are
before you hurt
talking
somebody. And there's the other one. These are a match set. These are the Hildesheimer Rose pattern.
about? Wait.
Where the heck is there it is. Okay, I'm trying to show it to you. Trying. Let's see. There we go. Hildesheimer Rose. And it might be Hildesheimer Rose. And it might be Hildesheim Rose. We don't know, because I've seen it both ways in the listings. Anyway, so these things, we're certain these are them. We're certain these are the pattern. We're certain these are silver. And we're going to list them as a set for $25. So for little tiny spoons laying in the bottom of the thing nobody cared about. That's the fun part. Look for the stuff nobody else is grabbing. It's also fun just to go in and watch crazy people. And sometimes we are that crazy people, but
Sometimes.
okay, we always are. But some of the people that we watch, they're a different kind of crazy, and it's very interesting to watch them. And some of them you kind of want to steer clear of. Anyway, it was what I call an awkward silence. We also got
Pure
yeah, okay,
Poland
going
spunk.
from the collector and the valuable metals and all that stuff kind of realm, which is like one kind of reselling. I said we like to niche, and then the next thing I do is show you pool filters.
Cool.
We're not above buying just utilitarian stuff, because utilitarian stuff sells, and it usually sells pretty quick. Little lights like that one that we showed you a while ago, pool filters. This is going to sell for, what do we say? I forget already. $20.
Yeah.
$20. Brand new, I think they list at 35, something like that. And we're going to get these filters. The only reason we're selling them so cheap is because this one isn't in the bag that they come in. It's never been used, but somebody peeled it out of the bag, and there's no lid on top of the box. And the other bag is torn partially, where it's not like perfect either. So anyway, somebody's going to get a heck of a deal on these. These things are always expensive, and if you got a pool, you've got to keep up with them. So somebody will grab that, and that'll be good for them and good for us, because we made a couple dollars. And here we go, moving on. And I think you've seen this in some of our other videos, maybe, is we like to buy things that might be broken, that we're probably going to sell them for parts or as is, right from the chute. And this is definitely going to be one of those. This brings me back to my childhood, because I remember when this is what these looked like. That is a computer. Texas Instruments, some kind of computer.
Computer 99/4A.
Yeah, what he said.
Model number PHC.
It doesn't have any cords. It doesn't have any, no extras. It feels like nothing's broke. Nothing inside's rattling. And it has yellowed with age. It's not quite as white as it used to be. But it is still very collectible kind of thing for those kind of people that like old computers and stuff like that. Who knows if it works? Who knows if it doesn't? We are going to list it for, and Alex will tell you the price, because I do not remember. So Alex, why don't you tell us what the comps on this are? How much is this thing going to be worth?
Well, it would be worth around 45, but as you may or may not be able to notice, it's a little yellow.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Yellow.
So, 35, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
$35 for this thing that Alex kind of queued up for it, and you can tell him about it. You were ready to get this.
Yeah, it was like the only thing in there. And this was the only thing that I got.
And nobody was fighting for it. And that was the interesting part, was that I thought he was going to have to fight for it, and he just pretty much walked up and grabbed it, right?
Basically.
So $35 for an old computer that somebody will buy for parts. And they will. It'll sell pretty quick, I think. So, what else, Alex, are we supposed to talk about before we move on?
How much of a crowd we had.
Oh yeah, we did talk about a little bit about the kind of hustle bustle, but tell them about the crowd.
Well, today it was very rainy, so there weren't any yard sales or like anything else to do. So there were like so many people, like maybe 1.5 times more people than usual.
It was wacky.
Like there were
Quite wacky.
tons. Anyway,
And when there are that many people gathered around the bins, for me, it's not that comfortable. I don't really enjoy elbow to elbow with 25 of my best friends gathered around something trying to find stuff. The one place where I think it is still kind of fun, well, it's all fun, but where it's kind of exciting is when it's a bin just full of little tiny junk, like cords and cables and these spoons, and it's just where you can hear them in the back when they fill these bins up. It sounds like somebody just spilled their silverware drawer. Just you hear, and you go, yeah, that one's going to be fun to go through, because nobody's going to get everything in that because it's scattered everywhere. Again, careful when you're reaching in, because sharp stuff in there. And people are not, everybody's excited, so sometimes people reach and overreach and smell bad. And there's all kinds of interesting things that happen. But in the end, you get a $15 spoon. So what's left, Alex?
we could potentially make $183 in sales from this.
183. Wow. That's why we go to the bins. How much did we spend?
$14.67.
Really good. I'm looking down there because that's the cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Right there's the cheat sheet.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes it's over here. This time it's over there.
And sometimes it's right here.
Yeah, sometimes I put it right out here where you can see it. So that's it. We did good. $183 in potential sales, and out of $16, $15 worth of spend, that's a good day. And we had fun, and we got some toys for ourselves too. So that's it for today. And remember, at the yard sales, always look up. Everywhere else, always look down. Always look all around, and you'll find the good stuff. See you next time.